So welcome to report number 9. This will be most likely the last report from India as we're gathering together our belongings and we're heading back to the airport and then the long flight back to the United States. This morning I have Pastor Tom Worthington with me. We're outdoors, so again you're going to hear some probably unusual noise. It's about this time when the Muslim mosque starts to chime out, so you may hear that. But for now, Tom, I want to ask you about yesterday. It was sort of the last day, and we covered a lot of bases. We went back to the location where we've established at least 4 of the 6 Bryce homes, and we saw that 2 of the ladies who had actually been evicted because the houses were being demolished. Since we were there previously, they were able to find new homes.
Roger, that's just our God at work in amazing ways. We prayed for one of those on Saturday, I believe, and they said Monday they're going to have to leave. They'd already got an extension to stay there. And we prayed, Lord, in your perfect timing, be that Jehovah Jireh, that God who provides. And sure enough, on Sunday, after many weeks of searching, they were able to find a place. And the other family we prayed for on Sunday, and again, God in his perfect timing on Monday then opened up opportunity for them. Both of them very close by, which is really good because they have children that participate not only now in the Bryce Home program, but in the after-school program with the kids, so they were able to stay in that same neighborhood. So just as always, God is so good.
Then after that, we were able to see the provisions that had been provided. We had brought some money because we knew there was immediate need, wanted to get started if possible with Bryce Homes, so we bought rice and oil, and the big bags of rice that each family got, according to John and the leaders, said would probably last each family well over a month.
Yeah, and Roger, we have those photos that I'm sure you'll be posting some of those. The smiles on these faces are just so precious, and they're more than just smiles of happiness. They're smiles of joy, seeing that their God, that they've been told about and to put their trust in, provides, and to see that not only does God do that through their local church family, but he's brought us, brothers and sisters from across the ocean, to be that help in time of need.
What is impressive to me is that they're not just there with their hands out seeking food, but they're very, very enthusiastic about how they can share the gospel with their relatives. Some of them in the families, their parents, grandparents don't know Christ, and they want to be witnesses in the midst of the darkness.
They really do, because they've seen the effect it's had on their own personal lives, that they've found that hope and that joy that comes with Jesus Christ. And Roger, by no means do these people have they moved into a life of comfort by any means. These are still very low-level accommodations, and they have next to nothing still, but they're joyful.
I noticed that some of the photos that you took, I didn't go over into the particular area, but the goats were walking around inside the house.
Oh, yeah, they right in there with it. Yesterday in one of the or the day before, when we went out to the small village, we went to a home, and as you walk in, to the right is where the stalls are for the cows, and to the left is an elevated platform where the people sleep. So we're right out of biblical days here still.
You have to see it to believe it.
You really do. See it, smell it, taste it.
Last night was sort of the finale for our time here, and John and the leaders took us around to 3 of the feeding programs that your church sponsors. Describe what that is.
Yeah, we call it Real Hope Kids because, again, it's about real hope. And what we do is at 4 different locations, which are personal homes, the kids come after school, and they get some after-school help there with their classes and stuff. Some of these kids, even a couple of dollars a month that it costs to pay for the school supplies, they don't have, so we've been able to provide that. And then they teach them about Jesus. They teach them how to worship. They teach them how to pray. As we saw, some of them were reciting the books of the Bible and memory verses. And then every day after school, they get a hot meal, which for some of them is the only hot meal they get during the day at all.
So maybe help our listeners describe to them where we were. We weren't in high-class areas. These were the slums. And there weren't a lot of lights, and we were walking down narrow streets, and we were foreigners. and there were Muslims, there were various other religions,
Yeah.
a lot of Muslim ladies wearing their black garb.
Right.
So it was kind of a unique situation, but
it was,
obviously,
Roger, and those descriptions are not by accident. They intentionally go to those areas and find these are people's homes. And as you saw in that first home, I think there was 12 or 14 kids, and it's literally wall-to-wall kids. These are small rooms, maybe 8 foot by 10 foot, packed full of these kids, and a couple of leaders there that cook for them and then oversee them and supervise them and lead them in the ways of the Lord. So it's really a beautiful thing. The second place we went to is Pastor Shaker's place, and he actually, above his house, when we were here a few years back, had added a story to his house to add the church building, began a new church, and it began through these kids. And as we've come this time, he's doubled the size of that. Still small, but he's doubled the size of it because of that very thing. They've seen the effects on these kids, their behavior, their joy, their happiness, and found the real hope of Jesus Christ.
So you've been with me to Myanmar and Kenya. How would you compare India now that we've been here?
Well, they're all unique, that's for sure. The opportunities here in India, as they are in many places, are endless. The great joy that I have here, Roger, we were just talking about it earlier, is the servants' hearts of these people here. They are truly living out Philippians chapter 2, that other-centeredness, and they just love to serve, and they serve like Jesus did, the most unfortunate, the ones that are truly needy. They just love to love on them.
And live in their midst.
And live right in the middle of them. Yeah, these aren't a bunch of rich white folks like we are, Roger, that come in and take photos and throw some money and then leave. They live right among them. And by no means are we doing that either. We communicate with these guys regularly. We have great accountability on the funds that are sent over. But again, we come and see it in action. And as you've seen, Roger, these are not only trustworthy, but they're great stewards of what God has given them.
So for the time being, we have to sit down as a board and discuss this, but it looks like for approximately $50 a home, we could absolutely revolutionize their lives.
We truly can. The one family that moved from the slum of slums to just the regular slums, if I could say it that way, their rent is about $30 a month. So a little bit of money on top of that to help. For instance, the one family, the husband's dead, so the woman tries to do some cleaning in different places, but she makes just a pittance, maybe a couple of dollars a day. Yeah. So it makes a huge difference.
Well, we'll continue to pray that God opens doors. As far as expanding the program, there really be no limit. It just says the Lord provides, and we'll be His vessels to be able to funnel the funds through to people here that we believe are proper administrators.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you saw last night, one of the things we were able to do is give these kids just a little table. It's just a little kind of a lap table, a work table, so they have a place to do their homework and do their Bible studies and stuff. And those little extras just really make a huge difference in their lives.
Well, Tom, thank you for inviting me to come. It's been a few years in the making, and we're here, and now we're headed home. I have to say I'm looking forward to going home.
Oh, yeah.
It's been not an easy trip.
No.
The day started at 6 in the morning, and they eat dinner at night at 10 o'clock or later. So for me, that's way beyond my bedtime. So I really had to stretch myself.
Well, as always, the Lord sustains us, and as we said, India is just overwhelming in all of our senses, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes. It's just an amazing place, but what a wonderful work of God going on here.
So the reports will be up. I believe there'll be 9. Please take the time, listen to at least some of them, and tell others about the reports, and get the word around, understand the Times, Bryce Homes International, now expanded into India, and we just look to the Lord for where He'll lead us next. Thank you for listening.